Let's learn about angle pairs today. We have already learned about angles. What is an angle? An angle is formed when two lines intersect. We have learned about a right angle, which is 90 degrees, a straight angle, which is 180 degrees, a complete angle, which is 360 degrees, that is a full turn. We have also learned about acute angle, which is an angle between 0 and 90. We have learned about a reflex angle, which is 360 degrees minus the acute angle. This angle is always greater than 180. We also have learned about obtuse angle, which is between 90 and 180. So can you think of what a zero angle is? This is a question for you. Now let's learn about angle pairs. By angle pair, I mean two angles which share a relationship with each other. We have two angles here, if you can see. One angle, this is angle ADB, which is 45 degrees. The other angle is angle ADC. This is 135 degrees. So we have two angles here. What do these two angles have in common? They both are lying on a straight line, which means they make up 180 degrees together, right? These two angles put together make 180 degrees, so they are called supplementary angles. We have an example here. You can see two angles. They are lying on a straight line. These two angles are each 90 degrees. So when put together, these two angles make up 180 degrees. They are on a straight. We have another example where two angles put together make 180. So these are also supplementary. So supplementary angles are those angles when added up which make 180. Let's learn about different kind of angles called complementary angles. See, here we have one angle here and another here. These two when added make 90 degrees. One angle is here, the other one is on the other side, this one. So these two angles when added up make 90 degrees. Two angles adding up to 90 degrees. Two angles adding up to 90 degrees, which is a right angle. We have two angles here. One is 31 and the other one we don't know. Put together they make 90 degrees. So can you find what that red angle is? Let's try and write a fancy equation since we know how to write variables. So let's imagine this angle be x. X plus 31 makes 90. This is the equation, right? But we want x. Let's get rid of 31 there. So to get rid of that, let's do minus 31 on both sides of the equation. So x plus 31 minus 31 is 90 minus 31. So plus 31 and minus 31 get cancelled out. So we are left with x on the left hand side. So x equals 90 minus 31. So that comes to 59 degrees. So we found out what this angle is. These two angles are complementary. 59 and 31 put together make 90. So complementary angles are those angles which make 90 degrees together. Supplementary angles make 180 degrees. Let's remember S for straight line. S for straight line. So supplementary angles make 180. Let's try to remember C for complementary. Let's make this C a 90. This is easy to remember. Complementary angles make 90 degrees together. We have another set of angle pairs called vertical angles. Here is a railroad crossing sign. We have a set of angles here, one angle on the left hand side, one on the other side. These two angles are always equal. These are called vertically opposite angles. Look at this, angle DOB is equal to angle AOC. Angle BOC is also equal to AOD. So vertical angles are formed when two straight lines intersect. But these are not vertical because they are not straight lines if you observe. Vertical angles are always equal. Can you spot the vertical angles here? Angles 1 and 2 are vertical angles which are equal, vertically opposite angles. A and B are vertically opposite, C and D are vertically opposite and hence equal. AC is equal to BOD. These two angles are equal and AOB is equal to COD. So vertically opposite angles are formed when two lines intersect and they are equal. Two straight lines intersecting form vertical angles. We have adjacent angles. Here we have two angles, angle A and angle B. This one is one angle and this is the other angle. These two are called adjacent angles because they have a common side, common arm. This is the common side. This is the common side. For example, for angle A, we have these two sides. For angle B, we have these two sides. Which is the common side? This one. So these two angles share a common side or common arm. That's why these two angles are called adjacent angles. Here we have two adjacent angles because they share a common side. These two are adjacent angles. Adjacent angles. They share a common side. This one. Now let's learn about linear pairs. Linear pairs are nothing but adjacent angles, but only with one condition, that they should add up to 180 degrees. Let's take an example here. We have a line here. Another line is intersecting this line. We have two angles that are formed. Are these two angles adjacent? Yes, they are adjacent because they share a common side. Now, are these two adding up to 180 degrees? Yes, because they are lying on a straight line. So they make up 180 degrees together. So these are linear pairs. These angles are linear pairs. Let's take one more example. One line here and another line cutting this line, intersecting this line. Let's draw one more line in between. So let's talk about two angles here. This is angle 1. And this is angle 2. Now let's see, are these adjacent? Yes, they're adjacent because they share a common side. This one. Now, do these angles add up to 180 degrees? No. These two angles put together don't make 180 degrees, so they are not linear pairs, though they are adjacent. So this is the relationship. All adjacent angles are not linear, but all linear pairs should be adjacent angles. Think about it. So we have learned about linear pairs which are all adjacent angles, but on one condition, that they should make up 180 degrees when added. Say, let's take this example. These two are adjacent. Yes, but are they linear? Yes, because they add up to 180 degrees. They make a straight line. Now let's take this example. We have two angles here. The green one and this small red one. Are they adjacent? Yes, they share a common side, which is this one. But are they linear? No, because these two angles put together don't make 180.